Hey, what up? This is Doc Blake with Ethereal TV, bringing you the 104th episode of The Last Piece to the Puzzle. The motto for me is silver, gold, and cryptos equals freedom, because they are decentralized assets, and they're going to play an important part in the immediate, the short term, and the long term futures. And you see the cover art today, a deeper dive into Helium Network. You see the 5G tower upside down and underwater. That's just showing you that Helium is supposed to be implementing 5G, or trying to. You also see the diver looking at the helium underwater. I don't know why water was my thing, but I guess that was my whole theme for a deeper dive. Then you see the helium logo inside of the helium atom, and you see the helium hot air balloon, even though they don't use that anymore. So obviously this episode is going to be about helium, as in the Helium Network, not so much the atom. We're going to be reading a few articles and also talking about LoraWAN technology, and we're going to go into those things and see exactly what that is. And we're going to spend a little bit of time studying and researching something that I think is important. I've been mining helium for over a year now. I just checked on the coverage map, and my cool spot has been up for over a year, and I've made I guess what's 25 plus 9 is 34 helium tokens so far from mining helium, and that's through a third party called Emerald, where I'm actually only getting 20% of the profits, and that's why I'm buying the Bobcat miner. So we're going to talk about those things, and with that being said, let's get into the price action today. Currently, we have Bitcoin at $42,507. Actually, I think this was pushing up. Let me live refresh. $42,821. Ethereum's back over $3,000 at $3,028. Tether is at $1. That's a crypto joke. XRP's at 83 cents. Solana's at $95. Avalanche is at $86. Polkadot is almost at $21. And Chainlink is at $15.76. Let's see. Decentraland, I did very well in Decentraland. I've been into that for a while, since it was in still under $1.50. Before then, even $2.54. Theta Network is at $3.19. We see that pushing up, so I know Theta people are getting excited once again, but that's not my pick this year. I've done very well on Theta, but I have some hard feelings to everything that went on within the last year, as I explained earlier. And Helium Network is at $25.24, up 19.2% on the week. And yes, that is my pick of 2022 is Helium Network. Let me pull up the precious metals. I forgot to pull those up, but only take a second. Gold is at $1,956, and silver is doing good today, up 37 cents at $25.47. That's pretty good of a move in silver. It looks like we're going to try to retest that $30. It's only a matter of time, but who cares? Silver's manipulated. Keep it in your possession physically, and that's all you need to do with it. It's a great asset to hold, one of the most valuable metals on planet Earth by far, and the most conductive of electricity. So I'm a big advocate of silver. But pulling up the Bitcoin chart, we have a successful retest, at least according to my chart. Like I said, some people had this drawn differently, so they might not have the retest happening, but I had the retest happening. If you looked at my ascending triangle, only thing I'm still seeing is very, very, very low volume, but this could be a very good thing. I've seen these moves before in Bitcoin where the volume was really low and did not come till later, which I think is a method that some of these whales use to fool investors and traders or retail and buyers into, expecting it to drop back down to, let's say, 38,000 at the bottom of this ascending triangle. So I predicted that we were going to retest 44,000 to 45,000 at least, maybe even 46. I also said over a week ago, I've been saying this, so definitely look for that. It's looking pretty good. Besides the volume, we have very little volume, and some people really base everything off of that, but I don't think it's that important unless it continues. If no volume continues not to come in, yeah, we'll probably see a pushback down. This will end up being a daily fake out, and the weekly candle most likely will not close above the $43,000 price range without the volume supported. But it's only Wednesday, I think, right? Yeah, today's Wednesday, so we still have time for it to bring in some volume. We still have time on the daily candles for the week for us to put in some good volume. So that's your charting for today. Let's get that out of here. And we're going to, I did some navigating before the video, trying to figure out how to navigate the information. I'm sure I knew all the information was on Helium Network, the website, which you can find through CoinGecko. But let's get started with Helium. Introduction. Helium is a global distributed network of hotspots that create public long-range wireless coverage for LoraWAN enabled IoT devices. So we're going to stop right there with LoraWAN, or some people call it like LoRaWAN. So let's go see what LoRa is and the technology is, as well as the definitions of what the wordplay is talking about. LoRa is a radio modulation technique that is essentially a way of manipulating radio waves to encode information using a chirped, which is chirp spread spectrum technology, multi-symbol format. LoRa as a term can be also referred to the system that supports this modulation technique or the communication network that is IoT application use. The main advantages of LoRa are its long-range capability and its affordability. A typical use case for LoRa is in smart cities where low-powered and inexpensive Internet of Things devices, typically sensors or monitors spread across a large area, send small packets of data sporadically to a central administrator. So that's the general technology that we're dealing with. We're going to go a little bit more into low-powered wide area networks, LPWAN. A low-powered wide area network is a type of wireless telecommunication network that allows connected devices to have long-range communications capabilities at a low bit rate. LPWANs are typically used in asset monitoring and management in smart cities, industrial, Internet of Things deployments. This is in contrast to wireless wide area network typically used by large corporate organizations that carry more data and use more power. Examples of LBWAN technology are LoRa, LoraWAN, Sigfox, MIOTY, YSUN, LTEM, and NB-IoT. LPWAN technology has an operating range of up to 10 kilometers, and because of its relatively simple and lightweight protocol, the devices and hardware are relatively inexpensive. The transceivers, small battery powered devices, also use little power, allowing them to run for up to 20 years. So as you see, this technology is blowing up. There's a lot of use case for this technology for smart and smaller devices, just emitting smaller amounts of data packages. But Helium has a lot more intentions for this type of technology. So let's continue. Hotspots produce and are compensated in HNT, the native cryptocurrency of Helium Blockchain. So basically, you're using the technology that we just talked about, supplying a service to even cellular devices. As I said, they're trying to implement 5G and for other data communication devices, smart technology that use the internet. The Helium Blockchain is a new open source public blockchain created entirely to incentivize the creation of physical, decentralized wireless networks. Today, the Helium blockchain and its hundreds of thousands of hotspots provide access to the largest LoraWAN network in the world. So this is huge, yo. I think people don't quite understand just how big this is, and its potential. And I'm coming from a theta perspective, so honestly, theta would be like a complement to something like this type of technology, just like theta is a complement to cell phone technology, to bandwidth sharing and things like that. So all these technologies and inventions are basically being utilized to build out the internet, make it faster, better, and more efficient. And this is another one of those technology companies that have built their organization around blockchain and is incentivizing people to join in with their technology by buying these devices and allowing people to connect. And they are receiving HNT tokens, which is Helium Network tokens, for doing so. So there you have it. That's a general overall explanation. There's tons of information on this website. So much information, so much more to it. Honestly, I'm just giving the basics. You go to the coverage mapping. I really enjoyed this. You can go to the coverage map and you can see everybody who is operating a Helium device near you, right? It's crazy if this loads up. I hope it does. Where are we at? Yeah, here we go. So all these green spots are people that are operating Helium devices. Did you think there would be so many? There's 666,674 total hotspots or cool spots that are connected to the Helium network right now. So that's a ton. This thing is really booming, really building out. If you go to CoinGecko, look at the price action of the token even, and at this point, there's something that goes on, I realize, with mining, just like with Ethereum. So many people get on it, so many people get connected, so many people start doing it, just like Bitcoin, just like Ethereum. And I think Helium Network might be the next thing, where at this point, I'm waiting 20 to 28 weeks to get my next miner, right? To get my Bobcat miner, my better one, the one that I get most of the percentage. I get the lion's share for providing this service, unlike my current one, which I'm not complaining about. I got it for free through Emirate. I've done very well with it in a year span. I'm very grateful. So, but I want a little bit more out of the network, out of my service. I probably pay about 25, well, maybe now that energy is booming, 35, 40 cents to operate it on a monthly basis. So really look into this, get yourself into this idea early. It's still early. Only thing I will say, I'm questioning whether at this point it might be better to honestly buy the token. If you're going to spend $500, or do both if you can, buy a Bobcat miner, which through my research I found out is the best, but also spend $500 on tokens. None of this is financial advice, by the way. But it's my opinion right now because of what's going on with the internet, and you have things like Theta, you have a bunch of solutions and companies that are trying to help the internet of things, that is, or everything's going to be, when they say internet of things, they mean like everything is going to be connected to the internet. Your printer, your refrigerator, your monitors, your TVs, your phones. I mean, it's endless. Your couches now, they start building these microchips of everything that connects to the internet, and it's getting really interesting. But this is another company that wants to be a backbone in that service of providing the internet of things to the public, right? So go look into this. It's like I said, it's using the LoraWAN technology, which is like radio frequencies, a very small energy style, mostly a lot of times for smaller packets of data, transferring them back and forth, but it does allow other higher forms like cellular devices to connect in certain situations, which I'm still learning about. I don't know I mean, there's so many people who know more about this than I do. Even though I've been doing it for over a year, I've been talking about it for over a year. If you go back and look on my channel, this is nowhere near my first video about helium. When I first got to my cool spot, I talked about it. So I've benefited greatly from it, and you know what I mean, I'm really appreciative already. And you can see there's levels to this. You can become a validator. I'm not sure exactly. I heard it's like $200,000 already to get on that validation level, potentially more. And there's 3,567 validator nodes already. So this thing is just doing numbers right now. It's blowing up. I wanted to make this episode a little bit more about the technology, diving into, you know, kind of not exactly, but what it's trying to do, trying to achieve with providing, you know, even 5G, they're trying to, but definitely smaller devices can connect to it, connect to your cool spot, and you get incentivized for doing so using LoraWAN technology. And you know, emitting these frequencies right from your house, basically being your own little data center. So really go look into this. I think this is a brilliant one. It's an original one, which I appreciate and I look at. It's just not like not knocking Cardano, but it's basically out to do the same thing that Bitcoin does. You know, they're all trying to use proof of stake, and you know, I think Helium you can stake as well, but at least there's a little uniqueness behind it, just like Theta. That's what enticed me about Theta. There's a uniqueness behind it, about, you know, sharing bandwidth, making a decentralized streaming service, and Helium is in that same category of using this new style of technology that has not been out that long, and building out the Internet of Things, making and their whole motto is the people's network. So basically they're saying that you're an internet provider in some way, form, shape, or form, and you should be rewarded for it, like these big corporations such as Verizon and things like that. So go study on this one. I think it's going to be huge, especially if you're in the Theta. You know, there's no need to pick and choose. You know, you can't say there's only going to be one. I know some of the channels I follow, they're like, it's only going to be Theta. I don't think that's the way to look at any of this stuff, in my personal opinion. You know what I mean? There is no future without Theta. A lot of people already know what I'm talking about, and I love that channel so much. I've talked about that channel before, and a lot of other people are like that. But you know, be open-minded in this situation, especially when it comes to crypto, because it's all such brand new technology. You don't know who's exactly going to be the winner or the biggest winner. So this is one that I've researched. I've been into it for well over a year now, and I'm going to be making moves on this one as I have done in the past. So this is my episode for today. Helium Network, LoraWAN technology, and this is your boy Doc Blake with Ethereal TV. I'll see y'all next time.